Good afternoon, boys and girls. Welcome back to the Almost Hansome podcast. I don't know what episode this is. We forget.
5, maybe?
It's probably more than that. I don't know. We didn't check.
We'll figure it out.
But anyway, we got sort of a double feature, double header for you all. I don't know when the next episode will go up, just so we can get more views spread out across.
Because we don't have, let's just complain about how we don't have time to make anything for this one, too.
Anyway, so what we're doing is we're doing interviews. This episode, I'm interviewing Seth, and then the next episode, it'll be vice versa.
Yeah.
So I guess we could just jump right into it.
Yeah, you can just hit me with the first question there.
So, Seth, you're really into music. You make it. You're an avid fan for it.
Yeah.
A lot of people are. But you're very into it. You know, you like to listen to it and like analyze it and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm a sound fella.
Yeah. And so my first question is like, what made you realize you weren't just interested in music, but that you also wanted to create it?
Okay, so I had been interested in creating music since I was like a little boy, because I picked up piano whenever I was in like 4th grade, I think, is whenever I first tried to learn piano, and then learned guitar through middle school, subsequently forgot guitar, and then went back to piano in high school. And it was like, I always wanted to know how to write stuff like on the piano and the guitar, but I just couldn't figure it out whenever I had the instrument in my hands. Mm-hmm. And it's weird, but you know Oni, Oni the cartoon maker, he also does music, and I didn't realize how easy it was. Not easy, but like how, readily available electronic composition was to everybody, especially like to pirate things. But I watched him do a video on Fruity Loops, and I watched the way that he made like a really quick song just with like the basic FL sound fonts, and then he was able to turn that into something that sounded really, really good, and I was impressed by that. And I went into the program and I started playing with it myself, and I realized that like at this point I'd listened to so much music, because whenever I used to want to know how to write it, I hadn't really listened to a ton of music and like figured out the way that songs are written. Yeah. Like the way that a song, starts off with an intro and bridges into the chorus, all that all the mumbo jumbo bullshit. I never really like paid attention to that side of it, and I'd gotten more into that, and I figured out that I kind of had an ear for it at this point, and so I started writing things that sounded like they belonged in video games, just like little melodies and choruses, and eventually I was able to kind of turn that into more coherent songs, and I figured out that I really love doing that, and like all of the knowledge that I'd gotten from trying to play piano just pretty much transferred into it seamlessly, and it was much easier to do it because of that. And then that's pretty much.
Yeah, I noticed you really like making the short quick ones, because anytime I ask you for one, I'll get 10 or something like that, and it's like, all right. Well, thanks.
Okay, so
it helps a lot. I'm not complaining.
I'm bad at percussion instruments, really bad. I have decent rhythm, and I can like follow 4/4 time, but I don't know how to write with percussion, and that is a necessity to do like a full song, is like the backbeat and the backdrop of a song, and I'm not very good at that. But like melodies, as far as that's concerned, I could write 30 instantly, as long as they're super small. When it gets to like the big stuff, I have a harder time doing it.
Really?
A much harder time. But I can. It takes a lot more thought.
That's one thing I'm looking forward to, is like what you create is like an album or something like that, or maybe not even an album, but like release a
coherent
songs.
Track.
Yeah, something like
multiple
that.
things. That'd be incredible.
Well, you've made one, like the Love and Lust one. That was a good one that I enjoyed.
I mean, like I've made tracks that are coherent, but like I mean, like what's the word? Like I guess a full multiple songs in a row that sound cohesive.
Well, that's always
that kind
hard
of thing.
to do with anything.
Yeah, of course.
Sit down and because that's the type of project that takes months.
Yeah,
maybe even years. Because it takes a long time.
That's one of my dreams, though, is to be able to finish that and just have that out there for free or for anybody, and have it, satisfying to me.
Project.
Yeah, like a passion project that I could be happy with.
Oh yeah.
Because if I don't like it, there's no way I'll ever do it. But if I can write 6 songs that I really enjoy, I'd release like an EP that's not really an EP under a studio or anything, but like but it's to everybody, and that'd be really cool.
Yeah. Okay, so the next question that I have is also music based.
Okay.
What is a piece of music, or like an album, or a specific OST from anime or movie or anything that has really influenced you and made you either realize, oh, I want to do that, or made you realize I can do something like that?
Let's see. I guess To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick was like the first album that I ever listened to and like was able to listen to more than one time in a row, because I could put it on and I could literally just keep it on for an entire afternoon listening to the same songs, because everything sounded so fluid and cohesive, and it was so meaningful, and there was so much to digest, and I really loved that. And I knew that I'd never be able to create anything of, you know, that caliber, because of course he's won Grammys and stuff, but God, that album is unreal.
Really?
I love To Pimp a Butterfly.
Cool.
And Sufjan Stevens, almost every album of his, I'm able to listen to in a very similar way. Like, whether I'm working or just I have it on in the background with me doing something else, I can listen to it multiple times in a row and love every bit of that. Because his stuff is kind of in the same vein, where it's artsy and it samples a lot of other music, and it's really original and out there.
Yeah.
And it's also, all of his albums also feel cohesive, like I was talking about, where one song leads into another really, really well, and there's like one overarching theme, which I think is cool for music. Because that's something you see in, like, you know, cinema or TV shows, but whenever it's happening on an album, I just think that's really badass. OST? Oh, that'd be a hard pick, because I like a lot of official soundtracks. I guess the one that keeps popping into my head is the one. It was an anime that came out this year, My Hero Academia. It was the first video I did on the Cinema Buns. I don't know if you remember that.
You talked about that a lot in the video.
Yeah, I really liked the soundtrack for
Was the music in the video? The music in the
Yes.
That's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, I really like the music. I've actually used a couple of the tracks. Like on our first Movies That Matter, I used a song from My Hero because I thought it was really good. I don't listen to it as religiously as I do like Kendrick or Sufjan, but I really like that OST. The Dark Knight actually has a surprisingly really good OST.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, I really like it. Most old westerns are really good. A lot of video game OSTs I get pretty into.
Great, yeah.
Undertale is actually one of the best, although I'm not a huge fan of the game. I really enjoyed it.
The music was good.
But the music, the music is awesome.
For like 20 minutes, but I do remember the music standing out.
It's pretty incredible. I really like Undertale soundtrack.
So moving on from music questions to more of YouTube or almost Hansome based questions, what is your favorite skit that we have produced?
Favorite skit that we have ever done?
Anything at all? Anything, even scrapped ones.
This is gonna be hard. I'm trying to think of the one that we just like had like the most back and forth and laugh during. I know it was the PewDiePie and Markiplier one. I actually the name is escaping me, but that was so fun to make. Yeah, why aren't you laughing? That was really fun to do.
I was on the my Discord for like the subscribers, whatever.
Yeah.
And I talk with them a lot. I just get in the, like, everybody gets in the general chat, and none of them knew about Almost Hansome, and so I linked them to it, and they watched all the videos. That's how we hit 60. Was
right.
They subscribed. Thank you for 60, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. Thanks, guys.
But anyway, they were talking about that, and they found that one, and they loved it, and I love that one too, because that was your idea. That was complete. That was you wrote that one.
Yeah, the writing was mine, but it was everything that goes into it is our ideas because things get changed so much. But yeah, I really love doing that one.
I love the way that one turned out.
It was a great time.
The jump cuts between the screaming.
But yeah, I mean, it was just super fun to produce the whole way around. Kaylee was there too.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't have anything to say about that. I just remembered that Kaylee was there.
It wasn't even our house. I was house sitting for somebody.
Yeah,
we shot a video in their house.
It was really cool.
It was a great video though. Okay, next question about YouTube is, where do you see yourself like as in the future on YouTube? Like, do you still see Almost Hansome? Do you see yourself expanding into new channels? Do you see yourself like still on Cinema Buns and make that going as far as it can, or do you see this being a passion project until you realize, I need to focus on like something else?
Okay, the way that I picture it, as far as like the long-term future is concerned, is that this will always be something that I do for fun as often as I can. I plan to keep doing Almost Hansome with you for as long as that's possible. Keep doing the Cinema Buns with who. I love the people that are there now, but whether or not it interchanges or it ends up just being me or it ends up being just 2 of us or 3 of us or 5 of us or 7 of us, I want to be on the Cinema Buns for as long as that's a channel. And then at some point I'd like to branch off and, do a personal channel. I just haven't decided what yet. Because I'd love to like be able to completely do things at my own pace and figure something out, like figure out my niche and attack that. But I have to figure out what that is and what I like doing the most that I could feasibly do by myself. And I'll figure that out at some point. But yeah, as far as long-term future is concerned, as often as I can, like depending on how intensive my career is or whatever I end up doing, I plan to do YouTube as often as I can just for fun because it's like a therapeutic thing. It's super fun. I love doing it. It's just great in almost every way to me. And it's fulfilling for some reason. So I'll do it as like a side thing almost no matter what.
All right. So now we have... Well, okay, actually, I got one more question I just thought of. Okay. If you could do one thing you have your own channel and you can either have as many people as you want or it could just be you. If you could do one thing on YouTube and have it be successful, like not like, oh, you're getting money off of this, but like you're satisfied with the views, the subscribers. You could do one thing and you know you would have an audience. What would that be?
Probably writing reviews.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
And reviewing things in different formats.
Well, you sort of have that with Cinema Buns.
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
It just takes time to grow.
Yeah.
Which is like
I think
the
that's probably
hardest
the
part, but also kind of the fun part as well.
I
just
like it a
watching
lot.
it grow.
I think it's great. Just knowing that, like, even, like, I know I use the small classroom, quote-unquote, comparison all the time for Almost Handsome, and I do it for everybody at the Cinema Buns, too.
Oh, yeah.
Is that, like,
sure.
80 and 60 subscribers don't sound like a lot, but I don't really care if it's a lot in the YouTube scape. I care if it's a lot to me, and if I'm talking to 60 people, that's a decent amount of people.
Is, like, more than... Not that I know, but more
It's
than
more than I could
talk
list off
to.
the top of my head. Yeah, exactly.
I talked to, like, probably 15 people total.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like I don't really care what the size of the audience is compared to every other YouTuber. I'm happy with what I've got, and the fact that there's 60 people who think that my voice is interesting, or even more than that, I think it's awesome. I think that what I have to say and actually value it. It's cool.
All right. So what is your shoe size?
I wear an 11.5 currently. Sometimes a 12. It depends.
That's cool.
It's
Okay. What is your favorite movie to watch? Since you're on a cinema like review channel that reviews all types of media, really. What is your favorite? It doesn't have to be like favorite movie of all time, but what is a movie that is you can just
I can
remember
always
as, like,
sit down and watch.
Yes.
Well, there's a few. Pulp Fiction is the first one that comes to mind, and that probably is subsequently, my favorite movie of all time. Just going hand in hand in that, but God, I love Pulp Fiction. Everything about what Tarantino did with story structure in that movie is so groundbreaking and so it moved forward in the world of cinema for what was acceptable to build your movie around. Because it's like these multiple different stories going on at once that turn into like this one cohesive, beautiful mess, and I love watching it. And there's always so much to pick up. You can watch it so many times, and there's always something that you'll notice that you hadn't before. The acting is brilliant. The OST, speaking of OSTs earlier, Pulp Fiction's is fantastic.
Really?
I really, really like Pulp Fiction's OST. And it's my favorite QT movie. It's just everything about it. It just nails all the it hits the nail on the head in every area that I'd like it to. So I love watching it.
What is your least favorite
movie that I've ever sat through?
Yes.
Freddy Got Fingered. It's absolute fucking trash.
I've never seen that.
I've
never heard of that.
The plot's so incoherent, it'd be hard to explain what it actually is about. But it's basically this movie that trashes on people with like special needs and injuries, and is the worst writing of anything I've ever seen.
Really?
It's a movie that's made for idiots.
I get
in
that.
every single way. Like
I understand what you mean.
It's written to be stupid. It's like broken bones and shitting inside of people's open wounds is funny. It's like that kind of shit. Like just actual garbage potty humor. And I like potty humor.
Yeah,
I laugh about
do, yeah.
I laugh about farts and shit. But like this is taking that to a new extreme where there's just absolutely no substance and there's no taste in what they're doing. And I know I sound super pretentious talking about this, but like go watch Freddy Got Fingered and you'll understand what I'm talking about. It's so fucking uncomfortable. It creates this feeling of like absolute. It's like having a stomach ache. Just sitting through it is actually like sitting through a stomach virus. It's so fucking bad. I hate it, like to no end. And I watched every bit of it because my girlfriend's ex stepdad loved this movie. Was a huge fan, and we watched all of it as like a family. And he's like, "So what'd you think?" And I'm like, "Oh." It was something, and I didn't want to be a dick because I'm bad about that. Where like if I think a lot of things about a movie, I'm willing to say it out loud, and I'll hurt people's feelings if they show me a movie they expected me to like, and it blew. But God, Freddy Got Fingered, it blows in every way. There's like I don't know, like there's one point where like he like cuts open a dead deer and like puts it on, like he like wears it and like goes around making like he just like how like in fourth grade making moans and stuff is funny. Yeah. He does that and like does it with like visceral body parts of people, and
that's weird.
It's strange. All these weird gruesome scenes mixed with this fucking, I guess I call it retard bashing. He's making fun of people with mental illnesses. It's terrible.
Sounds like a really bad movie that you should review for Cinema Buns. So we can get that first review of "Don't watch this, it's bad."
10 videos
I'm
deep.
waiting for it.
We're trying. Okay, so like the Worth a Watch. Should I get into this?
You can
on this podcast.
We
okay.
got tons of time.
The Worth a Watch not podcast. The Worth a Watch format was like created to look at a show from all different angles and say what's good about it, say what's bad about it, and say whether or not we think you should watch it, and that you can make that decision from yourself by watching the video. Because we say everything that's good and everything that's bad.
Yep.
And if those things interest you, you can watch it or you can. We're not objectively saying that it's a good or bad show. We're just telling you the things that are good and the things that are done poorly.
So that doesn't fit your format, just saying it's bad. Okay.
Yeah. For Worth a Watch specifically, because we're going to start doing movie reviews and anime reviews by themselves, and there's going to be a lot more one-off videos and stuff. I've written a few already, actually. It's just the process of getting them recorded. But it's like, those videos, we can put negative stuff into. But if it's worth a watch, or movies that matter can be negative, but probably not from all perspectives.
Yeah.
And that's the idea of what we're going to try and go for with movies that matter, is like 3 different unique perspectives on what a movie can be. Because one person could see it and think one thing, one person could see it and think another, and we're gonna try to. One of those will be negative, of course. One might be positive, and one might be mixed, but it won't always be that way.
Okay.
But as far as like strictly negative stuff goes, that would be like a one-off video where it's just like blank review,
That's
or
cool.
don't
I
watch blank.
I like that. Yeah. So we talked about movies. We talked about music. You're also a big gaming person. I see PS4, computer, a Wii U. A lot of stuff.
There's a lot of gaming stuff.
So, what is your? And I know this would probably be a hard question. It's a hard question for a lot of people. But what is your favorite game that it could be new, it could be old, that you can always sit down and play, and you can play it for 10 hours or you can play it for 10 minutes and it's fun?
Okay, Kingdom Hearts then.
Really?
Yeah. My favorite game of all time is probably Earthbound, because I really like Earthbound, but like the way the gameplay functions in Kingdom Hearts, coupled with like the fun characters, it's exciting, it's Disney, it's goofy, it's nostalgic, and the combat in Kingdom Hearts is super fun, although it is relatively easy. Yeah. There's a lot of button mashing and it's hack and slash, but I like hack and slash games.
Yeah, a lot of games are like that.
And I like the idea of hack and slash because I like JRPGs as well, and like turn-based combat. It's like turn-based JRPG style mixed with hack and slash at a fast pace, and so I have a lot of fun playing it. And the story is ridiculous. It's like an over-the-top anime story, but there's some stuff to it. There's some thematics built under there. I love Kingdom Hearts. If we're talking sit down, play it anytime, I could talk about it for hours at any time with somebody else who's a fan. Kingdom Hearts for sure.
Cool. I'm trying to think of another gaming question before I move on to the last few questions. So you play a lot of games for the story, and I think I know the answer for this one, but what's the game that you kind of go to get like release from everything else, I guess you could say, like when you're either pissed or you're stressed and you just want to sit down and just play something to get your mind off literally everything?
Okay. Traditionally, if I'm in that kind of mood, I don't usually go for games. Yeah. So like it's going to take some thought. Because like I usually don't play games unless I'm like already currently in a good mood.
I get that.
Because I like adding to it. But as far as like immersion and escape is concerned.
Oh, immersion. That's
like feeling like you're not part of everything else. Let me think. Shoot. I guess currently it's probably Overwatch.
That's what I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's at the moment.
Fan of Overwatch.
Yeah, I love Overwatch. I like competitive games, and I like going to that one. And I could play it in any mood because there's different game modes to fit whatever kind of mood you're in, as far as like level of wanting to take it seriously goes. People who have listened to this podcast probably expected me to say Smash, but Smash 4 is so incredibly fucking stressful.
Yeah, I get that. Like, you like the game,
I
but
love
it's
the game.
Very stressful.
Yeah, and it takes a ton of thought. And, like, I take Smash seriously and everything, but as far as, like, list of things that I care about, it's, like, closer to the bottom at this point because...
You're so focused on other stuff?
And it's that, coupled with the fact that whenever I play it, it's really hard for me to take it seriously and have a good time.
I get that.
Because, like, I'm surrounded by people who kind of take it sometimes too seriously. And so whenever I'm taking it, you know, like, I pump it up to 11 and I'm trying to go really far in, and I get, like, distracted for even a second. I'm really bad about consistency with a lot of things. Smash 4 is no exception. I have a really hard time staying consistent in the game. So if I'm having an off day, I won't want to quit because I don't like quitting. I don't like backing down from stuff, but I want to keep trying to do good. And Smash is a game that you have to be on top of it to be able to play well. So if I'm not feeling it, I need to back away, and I can't get myself to do it. So I sit there in like this weird trapped corner, just getting angry at myself and letting emotions that just shouldn't be there fester. And I'm trying to get better about it because like I don't want to complain about the game, and I do love the game, so I don't ever plan to stop playing it. I just have to get better about the way that I handle myself and carry myself while I play it, and the way that I look at other people who are playing with me. Because sometimes I'll like displace the anger that I have from, you know, like a set that I played really poorly onto the person that I played, especially if they're like cocky or rude about it, not even meaning to be. Yeah. Like if something comes offhand, I could take that too seriously, and I need to get better about just realizing, hey, it's a game, it's a fighting game that has a competitive side, but is marketed towards children, and I should just enjoy it the way that I always have.
All right, so I've thought of one more question about YouTube, though, even though we moved away for it.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
What is your sub box look like? Like, you don't have to go through and look at your subscriptions, but like, what is a lot of the base material? Is it a lot of music stuff, a lot of gaming stuff, mix of everything, really, or?
I'd say the latter. It's probably a mix of everything, because I follow a lot of channels solely for music creation. I follow a lot of channels. When it comes to gaming, it's okay. I can do it like this. When I follow music channels, it's music creation. It's people that create music and want feedback from other people. Not like the big ones, not like Monster Cat or like the big dubstep companies, but I like people that do like video game covers acoustically. Like Insane in the Rain Music, and Ryan, his name is escaping me, but I love this guy. I'll link him in the description.
You used one of those in your...
Not Bonkers. Yeah. People like that.
Out his channel.
The Music Kage, Not Bonkers. Yeah. People like that. When it comes to music, it's like people that, they create it themselves, or they do covers of other things, and they want feedback from everybody, and I try to give that sometimes. And those are the people I probably support the most, because I know they need it. Music channels don't make a lot of money. So as far as like Patreon stuff goes, I give them money. They deserve it above other people, in my opinion. And then as far as gaming stuff is oriented, it's generally like Donkey or JonTron or Oni Plays, like solely entertainment.
Yeah.
I almost never look at the analytical side of games, which is weird. But I'm interested in game design, and I find it super fascinating. But for some reason, I've just never really looked into the channels that are analytical as far as games are concerned.
I get that. And
then as far as like movies, TV, anime, because I'm going to put that under one broad category of like watchable medium.
Yeah.
As far as that stuff is concerned, I watch other channels that are similar to the Cinema Buns, like Cinefix and Mother's Basement, and just shows almost all analytical stuff when it comes to that kind of thing. And I know it's wrong, but I really don't like channels like CinemaSins that are like... I have a hard time watching people like that. That like try to pick apart a movie, but don't really know what they're saying and just say things that are like...
the jokes.
Yeah, it's just a joke. I like actual analytical stuff, and whenever... It's not that CinemaSins is trying to be analytical, because he's self-aware that it's a joke.
Yeah.
But it's like the people that watch him use that to like base their opinions on the movies, and that's just fucking stupid, because it is a joke. It's satirical. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be. But I have a hard time watching channels like that, mostly because of the fan base, which is wrong. No, I shouldn't do that, but yeah.
I've been subscribed to him, but I don't watch. I need to go through and clean up my sub box, because I don't watch a lot of people. Some of people I am subscribed to out of support, that I don't watch that.
I have a few like that too, where like I used to love their content, and I feel like I feel like they deserve the subscription, but I don't want to bail out or anything.
Okay, so moving on to our last few questions. So me and you are both in college right now.
Yes.
How has your college experience been so far? We've only had one semester done. You go back tomorrow. I go back 2 days from now.
Yeah.
How have you done so far? And like, do you like it? Is it better than high school? Stuff like that.
It's definitely better than high school, and I like going. I like the way that classes function. I like going at your own pace. And I'm definitely going to try and pursue education as far as I can. I just haven't decided on what I want to do yet, and that's hard to do.
It's very hard.
Yeah. So if your next question was going to be something involving the future, it's going to be... It's ambiguous, man. I'm not sure.
The next question was just kind of like, where do you see yourself in regards to literally like where you live, or who you're still talking to, who you're still hanging out with, do you still see yourself doing these passion projects, stuff like that?
Yeah. Okay, so not like a specific career-wise future, just where I see myself.
Yeah.
With a family and animals, keeping in touch with all the people that I love, which is all of our friends, because I feel extremely blessed and fortunate because we have really, really good friends, and I never want to lose that. In contact with my family as much as can be, and taking care of them when they need it, and taking care of my friends when they need it. I see myself helping the people out that I care about, and either working to do that, and then working for myself as well, of course, for happiness and that kind of thing. And then as far as the passion projects are concerned, I want to do those for the rest of my life, as long as my health will permit it. And I'd like to, whenever time's open, that's what I'd like to be doing, because I think that'd be fun. Is like always have this type of thing as like a hobby. Even if if like the medium of kind of doing this thing transfers and it's like blog posts or something, I'd be interested in writing film review blogs and that kind of thing, or even writing short stories and stuff just for fun, because I love writing and I love creating in general. I don't think I'll ever stop making music either. It'll always be like a thing that I do on the side. Potentially, I could see myself creating for a living. I'd love it to work out that way. I just don't know exactly which path I'll take yet, and that's what I want. Of course, I've talked about that a little bit here on this channel, but it's hard to say whether or not I'll end up there. I know that our family, because my dad and my grandfather before him, they've owned a pallet business. It's looking like I might need to step up and take the reins for the business there, which I would actually be excited to do. Because I've grown up around it, and it was like my first job. It's the job I'm working currently. It's hard work, and it's honest work, and I respect that, and I love people that do that. So I'd like doing that, the content creation on the side, if that's what it comes to. But I'm shooting for something in, a creativity field. Like, whether it's film, music, some kind of graphic design. I want to shoot for the stars and go for something creative. But if I end up working at home, it will probably be in my family's business.
Yeah, that's always like you always want to dream as much as you can and never let that go, but you also have to think realistically about, like, you always have to have that second, not necessarily backup plan, but a second plan. Just, all right, this is what, like, I'm going to be working towards the first plan, but I know the second plan is going to possibly most likely happen.
Yeah. As far as the palette thing is concerned, it's not like a most likely, but there's a chance that I might end up doing that, and they might need me to do that. And if they do, then I'd be happy to stop whatever I'm doing to help it out, because I don't want to let that die. It's like a family thing. It's like I was saying earlier, the thing that matters to me the most is the fact that I'm content. I actually didn't say that, but that's like number one. That I'm content and that I'm taking care of the people who I feel like deserve to be taken care of around me.
It's like that's the good thing about YouTube in general, is you can still have a job and still do it.
Exactly, because there's no schedule. You don't have to do it at a certain time.
Only if you make it a business does it become a business.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
All right, so this will be... See, I don't know. Do you want to go for a little bit longer? Because I don't really have
I think this is
questions.
good. I can apologize to them because yours is going to be... I need to put more thought into your questions.
It's okay.
It's a big damn meme, and I feel like it needs to be. You did such a good job interviewing. I feel like mine's not going to be.
It's really all right.
You'll see. Yeah, we'll see if it's all right.
I got one more question. What can we expect from you on Cinema Buns, even on Almost Hansome? And this, I guess, I'm kind of listening to this question too.
Yeah.
What can we expect from you in 2017? Like. Obviously, everybody shoots for better content whenever the new year comes around.
Yeah.
So that's a given. But, like, are there new series? Are there new ideas? Like, what do you think?
As cliche as it is, going for quality, going for more consistency, and then as far as new ideas are concerned, I've got a few cooking for both channels.
Cool.
That I need to, give the ring around in my mind before I bring them up on either side. But I want to make sure that they're good, and they'll be there. There'll be something. There'll be some fresh ideas. You just wait.
Same for me. Like, I'll wait till my interview to answer this question.
Yeah.
But, all right, guys. So that was the interview with Seth. I think he was great. I just think you were so good. I'm so proud of you.
You did such a fucking good job interviewing. All these questions were like perfect little probing, make you think. All mine are like fucking. I don't.
I'll give you a chance to write some new ones before. For the
okay,
new ones.
so you guys wait. Next week it's either gonna be really shitty meme, Seth awkwardly asking questions and stumbling over his fucking feet, or him asking Jeffrey things that will make him think. Okay, all right, let's go.
Thank you all so much for watching. We will see you guys in the next podcast. Bye-bye.
Bye, handsome fellas. Bye.